They say temptation doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't kick the door down. It tiptoes in, quiet and soft, like a shadow slipping under the cracks. It waits until you're alone, vulnerable, wanting. That's when you feel it breathing down your neck. That's how it happened to me. That's how I found myself standing outside my boss's bedroom door at nearly midnight, wrapped in nothing but a silk robe and a reckless need I could no longer ignore. My name is Amber. I'm 25, single, and I work as a live-in nanny for a beautiful family in Miami. Vanessa, the mother, is everything you'd want in a boss. Sweet, gentle, maybe a little too kind. She treats me like a younger sister, even invites me to wine nights and spa weekends. But her husband, Mr. Blake, he's another story. Powerful. The kind of man who doesn't just walk into a room. He commands it. Salt and pepper hair, broad shoulders, and a voice like smoke and honey. Every time he said my name, it vibrated through me. And when his eyes lingered, just a second too long, just a little too low, I knew I wasn't imagining it. The spark was there. Had always been there. Waiting. It started the night Vanessa left for a week-long business trip. The house felt empty. Quiet in a way that made my skin itch. I should have felt responsible. Instead, I felt restless. Lonely. That night I couldn't sleep. I tossed beneath the covers, my silk robe clinging to my skin. I'd never dared to wear it before. Not around them. But something inside me was stirring. Something hungry. My room was just across the hall from his. With every tick of the clock, my pulse grew louder. Maybe it was crazy. But I didn't care. I tiptoed down the dark hallway, barefoot on the cold wood. The only sound was the low hum of the fridge downstairs. I stopped in front of his door, my heart in my throat, my fingers trembling as I raised my hand and knocked. Just once. A second later, the door creaked open. He stood there, shirtless, sleep-mussed, his chest rising and falling slowly. Amber! His voice was low, rough with sleep. Is everything okay? I swallowed hard. My cheeks burned. My nipples ached beneath the silk. I couldn't sleep, I whispered. Can I come in? His eyes dropped, first to my legs, then to the place where the robe dipped just enough to tempt. His jaw tightened. He hesitated, but then he stepped aside. The room smelled like him, sandalwood, spice, and something purely male. He closed the door behind me. What's wrong? He asked. I turned to face him, heart pounding. I've been thinking about you. 4 weeks, I said softly. His eyes darkened. He took a step forward. Amber, this is wrong. I know, I whispered. But I don't care. We were inches apart. I could feel the heat radiating off his skin. His gaze dropped to my lips, then lower. Do you want this? He asked, his voice barely audible. Yes. Then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't careful. It was heat, hunger, the kind that had been simmering for far too long. His hands gripped my waist, pulling me flush against him. I gasped, feeling his arousal against me. He lifted me as if I weighed nothing, carried me to the bed. The robe slipped open as I lay back, breathless. His eyes roamed over me, slow and greedy. He kissed down my neck, my collarbone lower, each touch setting my skin ablaze. His hands moved like he already knew what I needed. I wasn't thinking about Vanessa, or consequences, or right or wrong. All I knew was I had never been touched like that before. He gave me everything, all night, again and again. And when it was over, when the room had gone quiet and our bodies were tangled in sweaty sheets, he held me like he didn't want to let go. And I let him. I let myself pretend I was his. But pretending never lasts forever. The morning came. Light filtered through the curtains. I woke with my head on his chest. His arm wrapped tight around me. For a moment, I closed my eyes and imagined a life where this wasn't forbidden. Where I belonged in his bed. In his arms. Then reality slithered back in. This was Vanessa's husband. My boss. A man I shouldn't have touched. And yet, I didn't regret it. Are you okay? He asked, his voice still thick with sleep. I looked up at him, biting my lip. Better than okay. He smiled, brushing a strand of hair from my face. I didn't expect that, he said. I didn't expect you. I rolled over, straddling him gently. The sheets fell to my waist as I leaned down and kissed him. Softer this time. I'm not done with you, I whispered. He groaned. You're dangerous. No, I whispered into his ear. I'm yours. And he let me be. Again and again. Until we forgot what it felt like to be alone. But fire always burns. And secrets always surface. It was Thursday morning. I was in the kitchen wearing a loose tank top. Nothing underneath. Humming as I packed lunchboxes. He had just kissed me. Whispered he wanted me in his office after the kids left. I grinned. Then the front door opened. Hey! Vanessa's voice rang through the hallway. Froze. So did he. She wasn't supposed to be back until Saturday. She walked in with a suitcase and a tired smile, calling for the kids like she hadn't just shattered our illusion. Oh my God, she said, wrapping them in her arms. I missed you all so much. I turned away, heart hammering, cheeks blazing. He stepped forward, kissed her cheek stiffly. You're back early. Yeah, last 2 meetings got cancelled. Thought I'd surprise everyone. She smiled at me. Amber, thank you so much for everything while I was gone. Of course, I said, forcing a smile. It was no trouble at all. But inside, I was unraveling. That night, after the house went quiet, there was a soft knock at my door. It was him. Opened it. He stepped in, eyes filled with guilt and desire. She kissed me, he said. And I hated it. I didn't speak. I just pulled him in. He pressed me against the wall and took me, fast, rough, silent. His hand over my mouth. His body claiming mine like he couldn't stand another second without me. We were fire and gasoline. And I didn't want to stop burning. Even though I knew, eventually we would.